But I'm on board the Larapinta with the owners, Mr. and Mrs. Peter Mounsey, who have just returned from a very extensive world tour. Just how long have you been away, Peter?
4.5 years now since we left Sydney.
And how much of that time has been spent on the water?
I couldn't say exactly, but in 4.5 years we did spend 6 months in South Africa, quite about an average of 2 weeks in each island that we visited, and we visited many. And then we spent 2 years in England, in London, in the Thames River, and then we spent 6 months in the West Indies. Most of the other time was occupied in sailing and visiting smaller islands.
And there were just the two of you on the boat?
And there has been mainly just the two of us until Leslie got appendicitis in South Africa, and then we were undertaking a voyage of 6,000 miles to England, and as she wasn't quite strong enough for the two of us to do this voyage from Cape Town to England, we took a young Australian lad that had sailed to South Africa in another yacht. He sailed from Cape Town to England with us, but otherwise we've been just the two of us all the time.
What was the longest single stretch of water you covered?
The longest stretch was 3,500 miles. That is in the distance that we sailed. The actual rum line would be a distance of about 3,100 miles. It was 35-day passage, and it was quite a good passage for that area as we had to go through the doldrums.
Well, Mrs. Mounsey, you must have done your fair share of sailing this ship then.
Oh, yes. You have to when there's only the two of you.
How did you manage to organise it so that there was always someone on duty?
We do 2 hours on and 2 hours off.
Self-steering.
Self-steering too. We have the twin spinnakers and she steers herself a lot of the way.
And so, all in all, it's been quite a relaxing voyage, has it?
At times, yes.
Most of the time it has been more pleasant than it has been unpleasant.
Oh, yes.
Did you have any exciting incidents occur?
Well, landfalls are always exciting, but we've had no damage or any unwanted incidents on board as far as the yacht itself is concerned. The most exciting thing and frightening, I think, was when we were on a run from Galapagos to the Marquesas in the Pacific. It's a 3,100-mile hop, and we were sailing fast. We did this voyage in 21 days, which was exceedingly good, but we hit a whale when we were sailing around about 7 knots head on. It stopped us dead, and I thought the masts were going over the side at the time, and we apparently knocked the whale out, and I'm not sure whether it was anti-fouling that discoloured the water or blood from the whale, but he went right alongside the yacht, and his tail was actually turned up by the hull as we slid past him. And I think if he was conscious, he probably would have flicked his tail, and we may not have been here to tell this story anyway. But when we got to the Marquesas and I examined the hull, there was no signs whatsoever of any damage.
Any other major incidents?
No, not really.
Not really. We've planned the voyage pretty carefully, and it's like being a good Boy Scout. If you're prepared, usually things work out pretty well.
Now, what about the catering side of things? How did you get on for food and water?
Well, we carry 12 months supply of food, and we replenish in different ports that we go to, and we always have ample on board. And you can get such a variety in tin food today that you can go for 2 weeks without having the same meal twice.
Well, it sounds as though you've had a really wonderful 4.5 years. What are you planning to do now?
Settle down.
Well, that's what we plan to do, I think. I think we'll probably settle down and have a family, but this sort of thing gets in your blood, and I wouldn't like to say definitely.
We're going to try anyway.
How on earth will you get back to the routine of the kitchen and the washing and the sweeping?
Well, I would like a kitchen with an oven.
Thank you very much indeed, then.